Okay, y'all, here's how I lost $817 today and 12 cents. You see, I'm waiting for a limit here. I had 3 trades to be marked up in this session and none of them hit. We have 10 minutes into this session, so I could just let this sit overnight, but I don't want to. I went down to 3 contracts because originally this was risking 800 to make 1600, which I did in the first morning session and lost, and I didn't want to lose 1600 today because it's almost 2000, and the drawdown on this account was only $4,500, so it wasn't really worth it. I originally wanted, let's go to the morning actually. Let's go to the morning and talk about how we lost. So we have this 1 hour fair value gap and we have liquidity down here. I'll show you, actually, hold on, full screen. What's happening? Let's look on the 1 hour. You see we're in a downtrend still. Boom. This is the liquidity for a market structure shift back to the upside. This is, the continue down. For like these 2 are already filled, so those aren't really holding. These are the ones that need to be filled if it's going to continue down. The whole candle just went straight down. Okay. So this morning we had hit this fair value gap overnight. And look at the overnight 3 a.m. session. Fair value gap tap in 1 to 2. I want to start trading this too, like trading all 3, but I go to the gym. I wake up for the gym like 7:30 and then I go to sleep around like midnight, 11:30. So it's just like 2 hours or like 3 hours each between me going to sleep, waking up, doing this session, then going to sleep, going to the gym. So it's not really worth it. But okay, so here I want to get in if we got candle close. We finally did get a candle close, but not really. You see here, it's been barely closing below this low. This one might, but it hasn't closed yet. All these went way down here too. It went up here. This morning we had a fair value gap. No, I'm jumping back and forth. Sorry, y'all. We had a fair value gap here. Boom. I got in for 1 or 2. Liquidity was here. I was okay with that. Then we have this one right after that stopped me out. It was trading a little sideways. This is one of those moments where you're doing a wait for a confirmation, and it went up, but it didn't hit a 1 to 2 at the previous swing low. This was made after you would have gotten into this fair value gap. You would have got in here, and then you see it didn't hit it. That's why, remember yesterday I took my profit? That's why I took my profit, because sometimes it will go and it will literally stop you out. Technically, you're still not stopped out. You'd still be in this trade all day, which, sometimes it happens. So I would have, after like an hour or so, moved my stop loss maybe to the swing low, and then boom. So that's what I did yesterday for my $1,000. It did hit my full TP yesterday for 2,000, which I wanted, but I realized too I was risking too much. Like some of these trades, like this trade was 4 contracts. This was risking 450 to make 900. Love that. And then sometimes it's like that 800 to 1600, so I just need to go down like lower, like 2-3 contracts. Like this one was 3 contracts as you saw, and I got on 600 to 1200. I don't mind that. It probably is about to tap me in, but at the same time we have a fair value gap made here. Fair value gap made here didn't tap in. Fair value gap here, which is the one I want, and here. It's been hitting this fair value gap and look like it's going to continue going down. Also, we had a bunch of fair value gaps on the charts when I got on, which is my usual strategy. Just get in on the set it for this one and get out. But you would have got stopped out because it broke all the swing lows with a sweep. And since this is a bearish red fair value gap, I am expecting the prices to go lower. Even if it just goes back to this, and maybe not go low, all the way lower, but it bounced off this and went down a little bit, came back, come down a little bit. So if you're a levels trader, you probably are waiting for this to keep going. So that's why I was confident in these pullbacks. But for right now, the way it's been going slow too, it might be something you have to hold overnight. And I don't know if I'm okay with that. I mean, this is just to this liquidity, so it's a good trade if I wait. But see, it's chopping at this fair value gap. I already missed these, but This one was so beautiful because the 1 minute one, because I like to get in the 1 minute because you get in the trade higher. So if this 5 minute fair value gap didn't hold, my most entry would have been here. I did the breaker because I did not like this risk to reward, this whole thing right there. I did not like that. And I did the lower swing low, a swing high. I didn't even do the high one. So I did not like that. So I did the breaker. But for once, the 1 minute lined up with the 5 minute perfectly. So I was like, oh yeah. And it just went straight down. And it's one of those things too, where even the 1 minute, let me show you, you have to wait for a candle close because the fair value gap is just 3 candles that leave a gap. So we have this candle to this candle left to leave a gap to enter, here. That's where we want to enter at. If this candle could easily came down to all this and came up and filled that gap, so you don't want to get in until this candle's closed, but it closed way down here, and then this was the next one. So it wasn't one of those things. You like it when it closes like right here, and the next candle is like right here next to it, and then you just get in. That's what you want. You want something like that where, oh, see, it did tap me in. I'm not in the trade. Because it could just keep going. I didn't like this one either because since we didn't tap in any of my original ones, it could literally go all the way up here, tap this, and then keep going down. So then I would have lost this last trade. So that's why when I used to trade Forex, if I had stacked trades like this, all my stop losses would be way up here and I wouldn't even give a fuck. If I'm really confident. If I'm really confident, I'll do some shit like that and I'll go like this because there's so many fair value gaps over here it can fail. I don't want to get stopped out while it's doing its thing up here, you know what I'm saying? So I would do some shit like that in the past. It looks like it's gonna reject, keep going down off mine. So I could get in right now, but I'm gonna take my loss for the day, I think, and I'm just gonna keep going on about my day. Cause I feel like it's gonna slowly just take like overnight type shit, go for the 1 to 2. But and there's a fatty up here. There's a fatty up here. It could just go which I hope at least goes up here. Cause it didn't fully, if I wanted to go, I wanted to break like down a little bit, then go up to here and then keep going down. But since it's barely breaking this thing, it's just sweeping it barely, it can go up here. So I have a call with my realtor at 3, so I am gonna be done and just take my loss for the day. It was time for a loss anyway after we were 4 for 5 on that strategy of just taking the fair value gap that happens right before. So well, I guess we're now 4 for 6 because this didn't do it either. This you'd have been stopped out here too. But yeah, just one of those days, It's been choppy in general lately. I've been watching other people trade, just regular trading, not ICT Silver Bullet. It's been rough for them. You see, it's just been really sideways. I wanted to get in here. Even like I said, if this candle would have been like how these are close together, I would have got in up here right at the breaker. But see, this candle says zoop, and they were already like 20. I don't know. I don't really know ticks. That's crazy. It's just way further down than my entry I want it to be. So my risk just would have been a little longer. It would have been basically, yeah, like how this one is at the breaker of the 5 minutes. So I guess I could have done that, just the breaker, the 5 minute. But yeah, it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. Losing is a part of trading. I'm still up on the account. I need like 8 grand still to pass this account. But yeah, we're almost there. I still feel good about next week getting there. So